Everybody, welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd give you guys an update on where I am with the 36 Ford and see what all we have to do, because there's a lot. So let me turn this around and I will show you what's up. Alrighty, well, we are braced. We have been working on flooring, and long story short, there was so much of this floor that is missing that I was really scratching my head as to what to do, and I decided to actually build a small square tube floor pan frame that will be permanent, that will attach to the sides, but basically working my way from the inside out so that I can then do all of the patch panels along each side, so then I can tie those into this framework. So right now I am pretty close to being able to tack weld in the toe boards, and then I'll work my way down the middle, putting the tunnel in, and then I'll start working on these pans on each side and working out towards the door, and then I will tackle this rear part. And as you can see, virtually all of that is missing as well. So we will keep working and I will update you once there's more. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are back at it again and hoping for a little less rust and a little more progress. So let me turn this around and I will show you where I am now and what the plan is for today. All right, so as you can see, we've got some pans in temporarily just so I can continue to work on placement and fitment. And the goal today is to actually build some structure for the rockers. Gonna make our own rockers since we're going with a flat floor and changing things up a bit from stock. So same thing over there, we're gonna work on the rocker structure. So I've got the door on that side ready to go. And then we're gonna put the door on this side so that we can line things up and hopefully work on this structure, because then once that's in, I can start doing final tack weld on all these pans and then work my way back. And hopefully by the end of this week, the goal is to get this structure with the floor tied into the B-pillar on each side so that the floor is actually part of the body again, which has clearly been a very long time. So we will see how that goes and I'll update you later. Hey everyone, well, it's another day and just trying to make progress on this floor. So I will turn the camera around and show you how far I've gotten and what the plan is for today. Okay, so I have made some pretty good progress. The frame is complete for this section forward, and I started tacking in the trans tunnel and working on framing for the back. I've got to build a little more structure and then a piece to build some structure across there to replace the old stuff with new stuff. So the plan is to work on this, get that part completed today so that I can actually run the pans from front to back. So we will see if I actually make that goal today or not. Okay, status update. So far things are going pretty good. Got tunnel welded in. We're connected all the way back to the seat riser. Seat riser is tied into the body now. So that's all actually one. So next I will be doing all the plugs and the pans, drilling out all the plugs and the pans for plug welding all that in. And hopefully we'll have pans in by the end of the night. We'll see what happens next. Say that so far things are looking pretty good. About to get it primed so that all these weld spots don't rust on me. And then I'm gonna work on these little pieces here, wherever they went. Gotta fill those spots in, and then I will work on the rear seat. Then next will be toe boards, and then I'm planning to make the trans cover bolt in. So we will see how that goes. I may end up having to weld it, but we will see. So as of now, that's what it looks like. Pretty good for my first one, I think. All right, so the goal for today, if I can pull it off, is to do this pan back here. And the original had some different stuff, kind of a hump in the middle, but I don't believe that rear axle is gonna have a 10-inch travel. So we're gonna do a little bit of a drop down right here, but just do a flat pan all the way across. And then working with some of this is a little challenging as to what was original and tying in new with old and all of that. So I've got some stuff to cut out and clean up over here. And that's at least the goal for that one. So this one shouldn't be too difficult. But around here is where it's gonna get interesting, because I've got to tie in the door jamb with the frame that I built, and I think I have a solution for that. So I can get, this actually measures 1.25 inches. So I'm gonna cut out some of this old structure, and I'm actually gonna run tube steel up through here so that this is really nice and solid, and then I'm gonna tie it in right here. So that'll connect all of this together, make it all one, hopefully give the doors a really solid mounting point. And then I've got to figure out all of this chaos in here, and then figure out how to tie it into the new panels on the cowl, and make all that work, and seal everything up from underneath, from the outside, and also seal everything up from the inside. So that's fun. But I do have panels for all of these things. It's just a matter of making all of this work, especially when you don't do this for a living and you're not the best at it. So we will see what we can figure out, and hopefully get all of this to work. And that's kind of the idea. I'm going to do some shrinking right here to kind of suck that down into the tunnel, and then a little bit of patchwork. And right now, because this car won't be factory original, I'm going to go ahead and probably fill a good majority of these holes in the firewall and just re-drill what I need, because I think I'm going to actually paint some kind of pattern on just the firewall to highlight the engine and the firewall, so that all looks really clean amongst the patina that the car will have. So the rest of the car will maintain most of this look, but the engine bay and the interior will be pretty clean, as well as the chassis. The chassis is going to get a full restoration. So that's where we're on that, and I'll take you over here and show you something that I've worked on that will be a separate video. If I can get it uncovered. So this is the engine. It's fully rebuilt, as in I rebuilt it, so it's not been machined, but a fully rebuilt 8BA. So that will look like a little bit of jewelry in a rusty jewelry box is kind of the goal. Have some little hot rod touches to it. Overall, it's stock. And then we have been painting all kinds of parts. Lots of cleaning, degreasing, wire wheeling, lots of painting. There's still a lot to go. I've actually still got to actually paint those. Those are just primed. So that is what's been happening lately. And then right now we're getting set up with the bead roller and sheet metal for the rear pan. So kind of sketched out very roughly what I need for the back for that simple pan, and then we'll get it all cleaned up. Well, there's your update, and that's what's been happening and what I'm getting ready to do. So I will probably throw some time lapses in of what I'm gonna do today, because that's just a little easier, and nothing I'm doing is really groundbreaking. So there's actually a floor pan video on my channel if you're more interested in that, but those were pretty basic. So I'm definitely learning a lot on what to do with all of these different angles and shapes and connecting old body to new stuff. So it'll be interesting, and I'm sure plenty of it is not perfect and not what a professional would do, but it's definitely not worse than it was, so that's the goal. So I will get rolling on that, and we'll see what happens. so here we are. This was a prefab rocker I got from, I can't remember. EMS, that's right, EMS Auto. But because I went with a flat floor, I ended up having to flatten out, which I'm still finishing up. It's not completely flat, but it's actually got a hump in it that would match the original floor. But not much about mine is actually original, so I had to flatten that out. Still working through. Had to notch this because in the original it kicks up, so I have to notch that and kind of rework this a little bit. Weld all that up, and then I will take care of spot welding all that. Get this space in here cleaned really well so that I can weld to it. So that'll tie in the door jamb, the A-pillar, to the floor on this side, and then basically the same thing on the other side, except I have to actually replace the door jamb. I got some 1¼ inch square tube that I'm gonna cut out a little bit of that, slide it up in there. I should be able to tie all that in, so then I can do the same thing that I did over here. So far so good. Just trying to get all this stuff at least fit, and then I will do all of the welding. Got this welding, I've got to still weld all that together and then in place, and then the same thing over there. So that's where we're at.